Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are doing the Pirate Queen pedicure inspired by these nails right here. So we are going to do some kind of cool techniques with this too. So with this one, you will need a red polish. This one is Sinful Colors, I got it from Walmart, super great. Black polish, OPI, because I'm an OPI junkie. A white polish, preferably something thicker. This is also OPI, because again, OPI junkie. And then I have a stamping plate that has the skull and crossbones. This is a Mayu London Gothic plate. I have several. I'm a nail art junkie. I also have this Orly, kind of a gold, silver, pearly shift one. You also need some stamping plate items, so that electrical tape, my stick, and my scraper, and then rhinestones. Yes, I keep rhinestones in a prescription bottle. Don't judge me. You will also need a base coat and a top coat. And then what I didn't mention was also a kind of a wax pencil to pick up those rhinestones. It just makes it a little bit easier. So for this one, we're going to have the big toe as kind of our main stamping nail. So this is going to be the black with the white skull and crossbones for it. So I'm going to go ahead, I've already done the base coat, I'm doing the black polish here. I still love OPI's black polish, especially since it is one of those things that is basically a one coat wonder. So all I need is one coat of it, and I still have the deepest, darkest black as my sole type of color, which just makes me so happy. I am going to go ahead and do that on the other toe as well. So with this kind of a design, anytime I do my nail art, it's not the same standard pedicure setup. Like, I don't do one whole foot and then the other. And this is more because, like, as I'm going through, it is easier for me to do one part of the process at a time. If I stick with the same color and put them on the correct toes, it makes things a little bit easier for me versus doing all of it on one foot and then trying to remember what I just did for the other foot. So this is kind of what I do for that. So then I'm going to do my other accent nail. This one is going to have rhinestones on it, so I'm using this as kind of a base for that. My rhinestones are kind of a very multicolored, shifty sort of a color, so I liked this nail polish because it is a bit sheer, but it does have some of that multicolor shift to it, which is going to be great if you see it pop through between the rhinestones. Also, it's got a really nice kind of a golden hue to it, and I figure Pirate Queen probably going to be sitting on a throne surrounded by gold and jewels, so why wouldn't she have that as part of her nails? So that is the thought process behind that. Now I'm going to do the rest of the toes red. This particular red, as you can see on my fingernails, is a bit more on the sheer side, so keep that in mind if you do go with this, but Sinful Colors is really great because it is on the more affordable side without sacrificing too much in the way of quality. And honestly, I don't think that the sheer portion of it is a sacrifice in quality. This is really one of those, that's how this particular formula was designed. So typically with reds, you will either have it as a cream or a kind of a jelly base. This is more of a jelly base. So we have that for that. And that's kind of the base look for this. Now, if you don't want to do fancy nail art and you just want to leave this like that, you could totally do that. You could apply your top coat, go on about your day, have fun, all of that. No problems there. When have we ever known me to be simple like that? I'm gonna go extra because that's what I like to do. So this particular one, you know, again, you could leave it totally like this. You could add just your skull and crossbones on it. You could, if you've got a skull and crossbone gem, you could do that too, however you want. Here, I'm going to go ahead and do a second coat of my red, just to kind of build up that opacity a little bit more. I personally prefer, especially with my reds, to be a bit more opaque. I want to have that high pigmentation. So I went ahead and did that. You can see that look right there. So again, you could totally leave it like this and be just fine. You could even put a second coat of the shimmer on a toe and be okay too. I went ahead, I did my Orly little spritz dry because I want to do nail polish and I don't have time to wait around. This is also why I did my black first, because with that, the black tone is just, it's its own thing, so we got to be able to do that. I'm also going to go ahead and put on my little anklet so I can show you kind of what that looks like from just that, base perspective. So I have my cute little anklet. Add some more sparkle to my nails and my feet. Just, you got to make it fun. So again, you could just accentuate with just some jewelry, move on from there too. I will do my toe ring and then we'll come back. And we are back with the toe ring. I had to adjust it because my feet have gotten a little bit bigger since the last time I wore it, the last time I found it. So like I said, you could totally leave it with just that jewelry, be good to go, everything would be fine. Here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my stamping plate and my stamper and my electrical tape. So with a stamping plate, you want a kind of a thicker nail polish that's going to give you the best coverage for this. You'll put a little bit on the etched image that you want. You'll take a flat edge of some kind of scraper and you'll just scrape off that excess. So you'll see that's what I'm doing here. And then you'll pull it up with that stamper. So you'll use that little rubber stamp it on. And then I use electrical tape because that's me, to get off any of the excess design. So it picked up a little bit of the other skull and crossbone there. And then you just kind of line it up, press it down, kind of roll it across, and you have that transferred. So it is pretty easy once you get the hang of it. That big thing is knowing how it works, how your stamper wants to be done, those sorts of pressure and stuff like that. My particular stamper likes a straight down, a very hard press. So you see that's how I'm doing it there. And then I can clean up from there. And then when I apply to my nail, it wants mostly a hard press with a slight amount of rolling across the nail. But that's also my nails. They have kind of more of a curve to them. So that's kind of one of those, depending on your stamper, what kind of kit you get, go with what works best for you. We will see that I have to kind of finagle this a little bit more to get the angle that I want it at. And that's how my setup is. That's the stamper that works best for me. So that's the one that I go with. So we can see that one did try to lift a little bit. I just pressed it back down with my finger. And now that design is on my big toes. So it's super cute. Again, you could totally leave this like this. You could leave it with just that shiny gold accent toe for the other one, your stamp, leave that design as it is, and move on with your life. If you do a top coat, wait for the nail stamping to dry. Also, though, you're going to want to do a very kind of thick, almost floaty top coat for those nail stamping ones because you don't want to drag on that design. Now here, I'm going ahead and I'm going to put on my rhinestones. You could do traditional nail glue. You could do a gel top coat and then set it with the UV light. For me, I'm going to do a top coat and just work very quickly with this. This is not going to make these particularly permanent. These stones will probably last about maybe 5 days for my toes because I'm not gonna wear shoes. And when I do wear shoes, they're not gonna be closed-toed, so I'm not gonna put a whole lot of pressure or stress on those. However, if you are wearing shoes or you're gonna be working out, doing some things that are gonna involve a lot more activity with those toes, definitely use a nail art glue for that. For my scenario, I don't need it. I'm just gonna very quickly drop those on, let that dry, and I know I'll be okay for what I need to do. So you can see right there, I just put 5 in. So I did on the corners of my nails and then right in the center, especially since my toenails are kind of tiny and These particular rhinestones are a bit more on the medium side for my nail beds. So this is the nail glue that I have as well. You could totally have used that. It also kind of depends on how often you're going to be doing your nails. So I try to do mine about every week, every 2 weeks. I don't want to have to wrestle with the nail glue to get those rhinestones off my toes. Like I don't want to have to take an e-file to my toenails. Just is not for me. So this is why I'm going with this one. I have found this works really well for my toes and my setup. Go with what works best for you though. And for me, this is actually an eyeliner pencil. But it's a little hard around my eyes and a little too soft for anything else. So this was kind of the perfect fit for this particular one. They do make wax pencils specifically for picking up rhinestones. If you have one of those, great, use that. It really just depends on your setup. So here, I'm just kind of going to press them down, make sure they are solidly in that option, and then we have that finished look. So you can see these are the pirate toes for the Pirate Queen. Of course, we have to deck it out with that jewelry. If you have more toe rings, you could totally put toe ring on every single toe. That's what you want to do. I'm going to pour my rhinestones back into my container. Close all that up. And this is the finished look. So if you like it and you want to see more with like the nail stamping or rhinestones, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. You can like, comment, subscribe, do whatever things you want, and have a good rest of your day.